Hello everybody. Now we'll discuss regarding design of couplings. Design of a flange coupling, protected, unprotected, design of bush pin type of couplings. Now what is the use of coupling that we have already studied in the previous video. Okay. Now these flange couplings are the rigid type of coupling where the two shafts which are to be joined should have a perfect alignment. Now this flange coupling usually applied to a coupling having two separate cast iron flanges. Okay, each flange is mounted on the shaft end and the shafts are keyed with the flange. Okay, that means key and keyway arrangement will be there. Now between these two shafts there will be the angle will be of 90 degree. Now these flange couplings are being sub-classified into the three category: unprotected type of flange coupling, protected type of flange coupling, and marine type of flange coupling. Now let us see the nomenclature for the design for the unprotected type of flange coupling. Now suppose this is the input shaft and this is the output shaft. As I have stated, the shafts are keyed to the hub. This is the portion of hub, this is the portion for the flange. Now shafts are keyed to the hub. Okay, now the two keys will be at the angle of 90 degree to avoid the slippage. Now they are generally using a sunk key where 50% portion of the key will be in the shaft and 50% portion will be in hub. Now the hubs are connected to the flanges. This is the portion of flange. Now the portion of the flange is being used to connect or have the connectivity of the bolts. Having a diameter of D1. Now suppose D is the diameter of the shaft, capital D is the diameter of hub. It is taken as the 2 times of diameter of shaft. Then D1 is the portion where the bolts are being connected. Okay, that is being taken as a 3 times of small d. Then diameter of the flange is being taken equal to the 4 times of d. Then the empirical relation for the length of hub is being taken as a 1.5 times of d. Okay, now we need to design the coupling, means we need to design hub, we need to design the flange, diameters of bolt, keys, okay, and the diameter of the shaft. Okay, now all these things are to be designed. Generally 3 to 6 number of bolts are being used. Now let us see what are the different proportions that I have explained to you. Now D is the diameter of the shaft, okay, or inner diameter of the hub, it is the same. Then capital D is outside diameter of hub where the flange is connected to the hub, that is equal to the 2 times of D. Then the length of hub, it is being generally considered as 1.5 times of D. Then pitch circle diameter of the bolt is equal to the 3 times of D. Then outside diameter of flange is being taken as a 4 times of D. Then TF is the thickness of the flange, it is taken as a 0.5 times of D. Then number of bolts are being decided depending on the diameter of the shaft. If diameter is less than 40 mm, then it is 3 number of bolts. Diameter is up to 100 mm, then it is taken as a 4. And if diameter is up to 180 mm, then it is taken as 6 number of bolts. Now therefore some designations are there, that is, if tau s is the allowable shear stress of the shaft, TF is the thickness of the flange, okay, then tau c is the allowable shear stress for the flange material, then D1 is nominal or outside diameter of bolt, capital D1 is the diameter of bolt circle, N is nothing but number of bolts, tau B is the allowable shear stress of the bolt, tau sigma CB is the allowable crushing stress of the bolt, tau K is the allowable shear stress for the key material, sigma CK allowable compressive or crushing stress for the key material. Then this design of key is being majorly classified into the 4 categories. That is the first one, that is the design of hub, design of the hub, design of keys, design of flange, design of the bolts. Now 4 portion, that means design is being classified into 4 category: design of hub, design of keys, design of flange, and design of bolts. Now further, the hub can be designed based on the torsional shear failure where it is being connected with the flange. Then the keys are designed based on the direct shear and the crushing failure. Now we have already studied the design of key. Then direct shear failure of the key will be evaluated equal to the 2 times of torque divided by D into W into L, where D is the diameter of shaft, W is the width of key, and L is nothing but length of the key. Then the crushing failure between the key and hub, okay, that is evaluated equal to the 4T divided by D into H into L, where H is the height of the key. Height of the key. Then next one, design of the flange. The flange will fail in the shear failure, therefore it is being evaluated by using a torsional shear. It is a torsional shear more clearly. Okay, therefore tau C will be F by A. Okay, therefore T is equal to the D by 2, where that is the diameter of a hub. D, capital D is the diameter of hub. Then pi D into TF. Now we'll see how the formula is being generated. Then bolts are being designed by using a 2 category, that is the shear failure and the crushing failure of the bolts. Let us see one by one everyone. That is the design of the hub. Now hub is being designed by using a torsional shear where it is being connected with the flange. Now that portion, that means this is the portion that is hub, is connected at the diameter of D with the flange. This is the portion where it will get a shear failure. Now what is this thickness? That is thickness is nothing but our TF. Now let us see, that is T by J is equal to tau by R. J is nothing but a polar moment of inertia, as it is being considered as a hollow shaft. Hub is being considered as the hollow shaft having an outer diameter of capital D and inner diameter is equal to small d. Therefore J is equal to pi by 32 into capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4, and R is nothing but distance of end fiber, that is equal to the outer diameter divided by 2, that is equal to the capital D divided by 2, where capital D is nothing but diameter of hub and small d is nothing but diameter of shaft is also equal to the inner diameter of hub. Now the torque, transmitting torque for the solid shaft is calculated as pi by 16 into tau C into d raised to 4 minus d raised to 4 divided by d. That is our normal, this is the simplifying formula. Then outer diameter of the hub is generally taken as a 2 times of outer diameter of hub is being taken as a 2 times of diameter of shaft. Okay, then length of hub will be evaluated equal to the 1.5 times of D. Then next one, the design of the key that we have already studied. They are generally using a rectangular key. That key are being designed by using a crushing stress and a shear stress. Okay, therefore shear and also the length of the key is being generally taken as equal to the length of hub. Length of hub is being taken as the 1.5 times of D. Therefore, length of key is being taken as the 1.5 times of D. Then torque, shear stress is evaluated as the 2 times of torque divided by D into W into L. D is the diameter of shaft, W is the width of key, and L is nothing but length of key. And crushing stress in the key is calculated as 4 times of T divided by D into H into L, where D is the diameter of shaft, H is the height of the key, and L is nothing but length of the key. Now, the flanges are to be designed. Now, how the flanges will fill? The flange will fill by using a torsional shear. It will be evaluated by using a torsional shear. That is, the torque on the flange will be calculated as the circumference of the hub into the thickness of the flange into the shear stress of the flange into the radius of hub. That means circumference of the hub is equal to the pi d, thickness of the flange is Tf, shear stress of the flange material is a tau c into the diameter of hub is equal to the radius of the hub is equal to the d by 2. Now, the torque, shear stress in the flange will be calculated as F by A, that is T divided by D by 2 will get the force, and area will be equal to the pi into D into Tf, where it will get shear failure. Then the bolts are being designed by using the different criteria, that is the shear failure and crushing failure. Now, the load on each bolt will be evaluated by using formula pi by 4 into d1 square into tau of bolt, because that means tau is equal to the force divided by area. Then load on the all bolts equal to the load on each bolt into the number of bolts. Then bolts are subjected to the shear stress due to the torque transmission. Therefore, force developed by the all bolts into the d1 by 2, where the bolts are, that is d1 is the mean circumferential diameter. Therefore, the torque on each bolt will be equal, torque on the bolts will be equal to the pi by 4 into small d1 square into the tau b into n into capital D1 divided by 2. Now, from this equation we can evaluate the diameter of bolts. Now, the bolts are also subjected to the crushing between the hole available for the connection of the flanges. Now, the resisting crushing of the bolt will be equal to the N into D1 into Tf. Then the crushing strength of all bolts will be equal to the N into D1 into Tf into sigma Cb, that is the crushing failure of the bolt, that is the force divided by the projected areas. Then torque will be evaluated by using this formula N into D1 into Tf into sigma Cb into D1 by 2. From these equations we can check the crushing stress and we can check the safety of the bolts. Now, here we are design all the types of portions which are there in the coupling, that is design of hub, design of cage, design of flange, and design of bolts. Then next one, it is nothing but a protected type of flange coupling. Now, if you have seen the pictorial view for the protected type of flange coupling and unprotected type of flange coupling is same. Only the protection portion of TP is being added in the unprotected flange coupling, that will be converted into the protected coupling. Therefore, the design process of protected and unprotected flange coupling is same. Only the addition of thickness of TP will be there. Now, this protection is required from the handling point of view. Now, this TP thickness will be evaluated by the empirical relation is equal to the 0.25 times of D. Therefore, the design of unprotected type of flange coupling and protective type of flange coupling is same only by the addition of thickness of TP. Now, there are some of the steps are there for the design of a flange coupling. What is the steps? First of all, determine the diameter of the shaft. The shaft diameter can be evaluated by using a shear stress, that is 16T divided by pi d cube. Then second step is nothing but determine the key dimension. The key will be evaluated by using a shear stress and the crushing stress. Okay, then we have to evaluate the width, height and the length of the key. Then determine the dimensions of the hub. Now hub having a length of the hub will be taken as the 1.5 times of D. Then outer diameter of hub is been taken as the 2 times of D. Then the by using a torsional shear we can decide the diameters of the hub. Then determine the dimensions of the flange. Okay, and determine the dimensions of bolts. Okay, this is the entire process for the design of flange coupling. This is also required in our practicals. Then next portion is that design of a bush pin type of a flexible coupling. Now this comes under the category of the flexible coupling, where the misalignment between the shaft and hub is tolerated. Now if you have seen the pictorial view of a bush pin type of a flexible coupling and protected or unprotected type of a flange coupling, it is almost same, only the bushing, the brass bushing is being provided in the flange. This will do, or this will absorb the vibrations and the misalignments by using the brass bushes. Other process of designing of a flexible coupling and flange coupling is almost same, except the bush design is added here. Now how it is being done, let us see. The modification of the rigid type of flange coupling. This is the modification in the rigid coupling. The coupling bolts are known as the pins, and the rubber or the leather bushes are used to cover these pins. Now two hulls of the couplings are dissimilar in construction. The clearance of 5 mm is left between the face and the two hulls of the coupling. The proportion of the rigid flange type of flange coupling, the bearing pressure on the rubber or the leather bushes should not exceed 0.5 Newton per mm square. Now, how to design this bush pin? Okay, now let us see. D1 is the diameter, okay, inside diameter. Then L is the length of the bush, 5 mm is the thickness. Now L is the length of the bush, D2 is the diameter of bush. D2 is the diameter of bush. PP is the permissible bearing pressure. N is nothing but number of pins. Capital D1 is the diameter of pitch circle of pin. D1 is the diameter of pitch circle of pin. Then bearing load acting on each pin will be calculated as W is equal to PB into D2 into L. That is the diameter into L. It is the projected area. Then the total bearing load will be equal to the bearing load per pin into the number of pins, that is N. Then the torque transmitted will be equal to the W, this total W into N into D1 by 2, where it is the mean diameter. That will be equal to the T will be equal to the PB into D2 into L into N into D1 divided by 2. Now the pin will fall under the direct shear due to the pure torsion of the coupling. Therefore the torque shear stress will be equal to the W divided by pi by 4 into D1 square. And maximum bending moment permitted in the pin is equal to the W into half plus 5. Okay, therefore the bending stress will be equal to the m by I is equal to sigma by y is equal to the, therefore sigma is equal to m divided by z. Therefore the maximum principal stresses will be evaluated and maximum shear stresses in the pin will be evaluated as shown. The value of the maximum principal stress can vary from 28 to 42 MPa. Now this is entirely regarding the design of the coupling of a protected flange coupling, unprotected flange coupling, and bush pin type of couplings, bush pin type of flexible coupling. Okay, thank you.